There we go. And then, yeah, if you guys just want to mute yourselves, just to kind of help with anything. And then if you ever need to leave the presentation and then come back, don't worry, I'll get a notification. I'll let you back in. But like Soukeyna had said, I am Megan Wilcox. I am with Virgin Voyages, and I am so excited to share a little bit more about who we are with all of you. So one of the things I always like to start with is the accolades that we've received. So we're kind of new in the cruising industry. We didn't get ships in the water until 2021 because of COVID. And so that can come with some kind of apprehension sometimes. So I always like to kind of talk about our awards just to kind of put you at ease and let you know that we are making a splash, both in the industry and also with sailors like yourselves on board our ships. We're the only cruise line to ever sweep the Cruise Critic Cruisers' Choice Awards, which is super exciting, winning awards such as Best Overall Cruise Line, Best Cabins, Best Value, in addition to a number of other awards within that grouping. And then when it comes to the consumer side of things, every single consumer award that we've been nominated for, we have won. And those are all going to be voted on by consumers like yourselves. So both from the industry side of things and both with the sailors who are on board our ships, we clearly are doing something right, which is very, very exciting. When it comes to Virgin, there is some key differentiating factors that kind of set us apart from the rest of the pack in the cruise world. And the biggest thing that is going to separate us is going to be our adults only concept. No kids on board whatsoever. We are going to be 18 and up. And so we understand the value of a child-free vacation. We may love our kids. We may enjoy our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, but we also know it's really fun to not have them around all the time and to vacation without them. And so we like to be able to give people the opportunity to kind of ditch that responsibility, really not have to deal with screaming children or getting splashed or having them take over the ship, honestly, in some cases. And so we do have that adults only concept. And I think it really brings a unique, fun spirit on board the ships and is overall just a really positive thing. We also have a unique and innovative restaurant concept. So on board our ships, we really value our culinary program and what the dining experience is going to be. And so we partnered with Michelin-starred chefs to curate our culinary program. We have no buffets on board, no main dining room on board as well. We have 6 specialty dining restaurants in addition to a number of other casual eateries. So there is always something delicious for you to try. And everything is pretty much going to be made to order and to your specifications, depending on how you like things, if you have dietary restrictions, all of that great stuff. And then our specialty dining is all included in your voyage fare. There is no upcharge for the specialty dining whatsoever. And so when we say all food is included, we truly mean that, which is great. Speaking kind of those voyage fare inclusions, we have our always included luxury concept that I'll go over in just a couple more slides, but it's going to be everything that's going to be included in your voyage fare. We're not out here to nickel and dime you. There is nothing worse than paying for a cruise and then getting to the very end of your voyage and looking at that folio and being like, I spent how much extra money just to have a moderately good time on board. And so we're not here to do that for you. So we have a number of different inclusions for your voyage fare, just to make your onboard experience that much better. Virgin Voyages as a whole has more of a wellness focus. So whether you're someone who is that early riser and wants to get that morning meditation or yoga class in, or you're that night owl who likes to sleep in, we want you to embody balance and practice that in whatever way is going to be most authentic to you. So we've got our kind of our detox and retox type of mentality. So you can detox by getting a great walk-in at our onboard track which is called the runway, a great massage, a facial, a pedicure, do one of our workout classes, or just simply rest in your beautiful hammock that's on your balcony. Or you can retox and really dance the night away, have a couple of beverages, really indulge in some ways that you don't necessarily get to do at home. And ultimately, at the end of the day, have an incredible vacation on board one of our lady ships. We also like to embody a choose your own adventure kind of spirit on board with our activities as well as our shore excursion program. So whether you're someone who likes to do everything and really have that jam-packed itinerary, or you just really want to rest and catch some rays by the pool or by the beach, or just read your book, or if you fall somewhere kind of in between, we've got something for everyone, and you can really curate your own experience on board. And then last but not least, our ships look a little bit different than our competitors. They have a beautiful kind of more yacht inspired design. We really did away with those larger kind of auditorium spaces on board and just wanted to create these smaller, more intimate spaces, which is great because when it comes to voyage capacity, it never quite feels like there's as many sailors that are on board with you as there actually is. So I personally really enjoyed that. When it comes to the onboard experience, and just kind of the vibes of the ship, we like to kind of have this relaxed luxe atmosphere. We understand the value of no formal nights and just kind of no stuffiness, and really just allowing you as a sailor to show up as authentically yourself and really have a great relaxed time on board. And I will say that that is something I love being able to see when I'm on board our ships, is people just truly enjoying themselves, feeling great in their own skin, and at the end of the day, just really enjoying their vacation. But we also want to provide a beautiful space for you to relax in. So you'll notice that our spaces are really well appointed, beautifully decorated, and have their own flair and style as you move throughout the different onboard spaces on the ship. That always included luxury concept that I was mentioning earlier is all of those voyage fare inclusions. So we are going to be more in the premium market. So you might pay a little bit more upfront, but like I said, you're not going to get nickel and dimed at the end of the day. And all of this is going to be included. So all food, including specialty dining, is going to be included, and it is absolutely delicious food. We consistently get rave reviews from our sailors about their dining experience on board. And don't worry, I'm going to go way into detail about our onboard dining towards the end of the presentation. We're also going to include basic Wi-Fi in your voyage fare. We want you to be able to have the opportunity to check in with those family members back home if needed. Maybe you need to check a few work emails just to kind of stay on top of things, or you just want to make your friends and family jealous with your epic vacation photos. We're going to include that basic Wi-Fi for you. We also will include unlimited group workout classes, and it really does run the gamut depending on what it is that you're interested in. All tips and gratuities will be included. We take care of our crew so that you don't have to. And one of the things that I love about this particular piece of the pie is that our crew love being crew members with Virgin Voyages. They consistently renew their contracts with us because they love working on board our ships. And I will say that crew members and crew engagement with sailors is also another big piece of feedback in terms of it being a really positive experience for our sailors that are voyaging with us. Our crew really does have a great time on board. They're very personable, and they just make your experience that much better. And so I've never had a bad interaction with a crew member on board, and they're just absolutely incredible. We're also going to include all shows and entertainment, and then essential drinks. So there's no additional drink package needed to have water, whether that be still or sparkling, drip coffee, tea, non-pressed juices, or sodas. And before you ask, we are a Coke ship, so keep that in mind. I am a Pepsi girl at heart, but you know, it's okay. A Diet Coke with some lime will suffice when I'm on board our ships. We've got 4 ships in our fleet. 3 are currently sailing in the water, and they're all sister ships. So they all have the same deck plan, same amenities. What's going to vary is going to be the entertainment options on board, and then obviously our incredible crew. But we've got Scarlet Lady, whose home port has been Miami, Florida for the longest time. She's actually about to head towards the Mediterranean and be based out of, I believe, Athens. But she might be bouncing back and forth between Athens and Barcelona. We've got Valiant Lady, who has spent a majority of her time in the Med, but she will be our resident Caribbean ship with being in Miami for the remainder of the summer. She is currently sailing out of San Juan, Puerto Rico until the end of the month. And then Resilient Lady is our 3rd ship that we have in the water. She's been spending a lot of time down under in Australia, and she will make her way around the Horn of Africa up into Miami, and then on into the Med in Barcelona before she goes to the UK. So we're sailing in a lot of great ports around the globe. And then we do have our 4th ship, Brilliant Lady, coming soon. We just released her Mermaid, which is kind of the beautiful woman at the front of all of our ships. They're all a different mermaid, and they're all very beautiful. They represent different parts of our organization and different things like that. And so our Brilliant Lady will hopefully be sailing in the water within the next couple of years. So we're very excited for her to be in the water and then have 4 ships in our fleet. When it comes to who is actually sailing with us, I mentioned that adults only concept, being 18 and up, but have no fear. It is not a bunch of 18 and young 20s roaming around on board our ships. You will find them, of course, but our sweet spot's going to be that mid 30s to mid 60s demographic, with our average sailor age being in the late 40s, early 50s. And so I think it is a really special and really unique demographic. And I always love looking out at the crowds of people on some of our big ship-wide events and just seeing the wide variety of sailors that are traveling with us and where they're coming from and the diversity. And everyone is just honestly having the best time. I've met so many incredible people being on board our ships that I continue to stay in touch with. And it's just a really, really interesting, fun dynamic. And ultimately, it's just people who want to have a good time on board. And so our sailor grouping is very, very special and holds a very sweet spot in my heart. And a good chunk of our sailors have been cruising for quite a while, but we also have a number of first-time cruisers as well. And Virgin Voyages does do things a little bit differently. You're not going to find a lot of overhead announcements. We don't have a cruise director, for example. You're not going to be hounded to take photos all the time. And so there's a couple of differences that set us apart from our competitors, but it just really is a special group on board. Going to watch a quick video about our entertainment options before we kind of dive more into the activities you can experience on board. So I told you it runs the gamut of things that you guys can experience, and hopefully that video really did showcase that. Whether it is our VHS 80s dance workout experience on board, or seeing dual reality, which is that kind of Cirque du Soleil meets West Side Story modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet, to a dodgeball tournament, to singing karaoke at the groupie. We have a number of different things for you to experience, and we're really just all about epic experience for your onboard entertainment options. We want you to be on board, have an incredible time, make those incredible memories, and see things that you didn't ever think you'd see on a cruise ship. All of our entertainment is going to be unique to Virgin Voyages and is all going to be original content. And so we just love the variety of acts that you get to see when you're on board. I mentioned karaoke. We will do large kind of shipwide karaoke sessions in various places on board with some of our happenings cast. So I mentioned we didn't have a cruise director. We have our happenings cast, which is a series of personas that we've got incredible crew members filling in for those personas. So we've got the foodie, for example, who's going to be leading onboard experience such as our bubbles and fried chicken tasting. For example, we've got the artist who's going to lead some different arts classes on board. The balancer is going to be more in tune with like the health and wellness side of things. We also have the diva, which is our resident drag queen, and she will do some different shows. She will do some cabaret acts and different things like that. And she will actually host karaoke a couple of nights different places on board the ship, which is kind of fun. But we also have our private karaoke rooms, which is called the Groupie. We also do feature a small Las Vegas style casino on board with both slots and table games. We have the social club, which is featured there in the bottom left photo. It's a great place to get some boozy milkshakes, some great snacks, and is also kind of essential part for those of you who need to catch a game, whether that be the Super Bowl. We did a big Super Bowl party there, or basketball, hockey, you name it. as well as we've got some shuffleboard tables over there, a foosball table, air hockey, board games, card games, as well as the entrance to our arcade. So if you really want to kind of take advantage of the arcade, don't worry, you can save all your quarters. The arcade is free for you to use. So again, just really kind of embracing that young and fun of heart type of mentality. We have a couple of ship-wide parties on board that we do encourage you as a sailor to participate in, or at least take a peek at and kind of experience. The first is going to be our pajama party. That happens on night 1. And for me, it's always fun to kind of see how people interpret that and the different types of pajama outfits that people put together. In December during the holiday season, we did an ugly sweater pajama party, which was really, really fun. It was fun to see how people dressed up. And I mean, there were people in, like onesies with little like ears and, different pieces of accessories and different things like that. And so it's always just really, really fun. And then we have Scarlet Night. So Scarlet Night, I would say, is a hallmark of every single Virgin Voyages experience. It is something where the whole ship gets involved. You'll come down for breakfast in the beginning of the day. And you'll start to see that the ship looks a little bit differently than it did the night before. And as you continue on throughout your day, the ship just kind of changes and evolves before it activates entirely red, starting at 9 p.m. with what I like to call our opening ceremonies, which oddly enough start with a wedding of all things. And then it culminates in a big dance party and show out at the Aquatic Club, which is our pool deck. It is unlike anything I've ever experienced. We encourage all of our sailors to don their splash of red, and it is just incredible. I get tears in my eyes whenever I see all the performers doing their dances and everything like that. And it's just really, really fun. The energy is palpable and truly unlike anything I've ever experienced. So Scarlet Night is not to be missed. Kind of taking things down a notch, talking about finding balance earlier and really embodying kind of that detox side of the Virgin Voyages experience. We have a number of ways in which you can do that. We have our incredible Redemption Spa, which is going to offer you massages, facials, the tune-up, which is our onboard nail salon. It's one of my favorite places to go for a pedicure. It has incredible floor-to-ceiling windows, which actually I have featured here in that bottom right photo. Our nail techs are hilarious. They're incredible. But we also have the thermal suite at the Redemption Spa as well. So you can take advantage of the plunge pools, the salt rooms, saunas, steam rooms, different things like that. We've got a lot of different options for you. We also have a couple of grooming spots on board. We've got the dry dock if you want to get a great blowout, maybe add some fun color to your hair. And then we also have stubble and groom for those that need a quick shave or a little tidy up with their hair. Lots of different opportunities for you. And then one of, I think, the most unique things about Virgin Voyages is Squid Ink, which is our onboard tattoo shop. We are the only ships at sea with tattoos on board. So if you want to get that souvenir that truly does last a lifetime, you definitely want to make sure that you book an appointment on embarkation day at Squid Ink. Our tattoo artists are renowned all over the globe. They use vegan ink. They can do flash pieces, which are those rinse and repeat options, as well as custom pieces as well. And let me tell you, the appointment slots at Squid Ink do go quickly, and they are always full throughout a voyage. So it's very, very exciting. And again, very Virgin Voyages at the end of the day. Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about one of my personal favorite things of any vacation experience, whether that's with Virgin or anywhere else, the food. I mentioned earlier that the food is all included, including our specialty dining. And so we've got 6 different specialty dining restaurants for you to take advantage of. We've got the Wake, which is going to be our more glam steak and seafood option. Now, I'm someone who likes to have a billion different outfits, and I'm changing my outfit multiple times throughout the day when I'm on board a Virgin Voyages ship. And though these different restaurants will have their own kind of decor and flair, keep in mind, you do not have to dress formally for any of them. You can always just come exactly as you want, and whatever feels comfortable to you. But the Wake is great. They do a great filet mignon. They do some great steak options. Their wine list is incredible. And we also do brunch at the Wake, so you can definitely make a reservation there. Pink Agave is going to be our upscale Mexican spot. That guacamole is as delicious as it looks in that photo. We have a great tequila menu here at Pink Agave. It is award winning, which is exciting. And then we also do Pink Agave After Dark, which is an hour long, just kind of like fun, upbeat, more like dance forward type of event, which is very, very fun. And when I say it lasts for an hour, it truly starts at 9:30. And once 10:30 hits, they are pulling the plug on that DJ set. And it's just so much fun. The whole staff gets involved. It's just an absolutely great time. The food at Pink Agave truly is just absolutely top notch. It's one of my favorite restaurants on board. We've also got Razzle Dazzle, which is great for those of you who maybe like to lead a more plant-based lifestyle, or maybe you are vegan or vegetarian. This is going to be our more veggie forward restaurant that we have on board. So for those, like I said, who like to eat more plant-based, we have a number of different options for you here. As you can see, it's very colorful. It's very fresh, very unique dishes, very, very good. This is one that I think is kind of a bit of a sleeper restaurant where people kind of discount it because of its veggie forward focus, but honestly, it is top notch, and I was very, very surprised at how much I enjoyed Razzle Dazzle. And for those of you carnivores, don't worry, they do have a naughty menu at Razzle Dazzle. You can get some great fried chicken, you can get the Richard's favorite burger. It's just absolutely delicious. They also have incredible cocktails. Literally just Google Razzle Dazzle Popcorn Old Fashioned and you will see what I mean. The decor at Razzle is incredible, and they also do brunch as well, where you can get some great candied bacon too, which is very fun. For those of you that are foodies or are a more adventurous eater, I highly recommend checking out Test Kitchen. Test Kitchen is going to be our 6-course tasting menu. It's going to be a little bit more molecular kind of in its style, very, very different. You will know one ingredient of each of those 6 courses. So it's very experiential, very interesting. Everything is plated beautifully. And you can also do a beer, wine, or cocktail pairing at Test Kitchen. And then we've got Gunbay, which is our Korean barbecue spot. Very interactive, very entertaining. Our chefs are incredible. All sailors will get a complimentary round of soju at Gunbay, and our chefs will play some drinking games with you, which is kind of fun. It's going to be more in line with like a hibachi grill, and that you'll get sat with or seated with other sailors, especially if you're just like maybe traveling with you and a guest, or you and a companion, or just solo as well. But Gunbay, honestly, top notch. Everyone who goes to Gunbay absolutely loves it and has an incredible time. And then one of my personal favorites is Extra Virgin, which is our Italian spot on board. Top to bottom, the menu is incredible, starting with that beautiful charcuterie board. And then they've got some great mains. We do handmade pasta, fresh handmade pasta every single day. The bucatini carbonara is incredible. The oxtail pasta is amazing. Their sea bass is very good as well. And then you end the meal with a tableside affogato dessert cart too. So it's just an absolutely incredible experience. And Extra Virgin, in my opinion, makes one of the best Aperol spritzes on board too. So I love drinking that, especially when I am in Europe. If you want to kind of take things a little bit more casually, we have a number of casual eateries for you as well. So whether you want to do this for breakfast, lunch, a quick snack in the afternoon, we've got plenty of choices for you. The Dock House is going to be more of our Mediterranean style spot. It also kind of goes out into the very aft of the ship, which is the dock. Very, very beautiful. They do great hummus, great kind of more Mediterranean options, great skewers at the Dock House. And the dock, again, the dock is my second favorite spot to get an Aperol Spritz, and also a great place to go for sail away, just because the scenery is always so beautiful, and it's just a nice place to be outside and get some great bites at the end of the day. The pizza place is a spot that I go to far too often when I'm on board the ship. They are handmade or like made to order pizzas, absolutely incredible. They do a daily special every single day, but that daily special truly is here today, gone tomorrow. They're usually open from about 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And let me tell you, it is popping at about midnight till 2 a.m. when they close. People getting that little late night nosh. Absolutely delicious. I love, 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 love the pizza place, and it's definitely not to be missed. And then we've got Lick Me Till I Scream, which is our onboard ice cream shop that I love to kind of talk about because, again, it really is a nod to the cheekiness and just kind of a little bit unorthodox nature of Virgin Voyages. It's also Sir Richard Branson's favorite spot on board, which is great. We will hand make those ice creams fresh throughout the voyage. We have a rotating selection of flavors, and we also have a rotating cone selection as well, including a gluten-free option and sugar-free and dairy-free ice creams as well for those with dietary restrictions. But Lick Me Till I Scream, phenomenal place to get a little sweet treat. And then last but not least, we've got the galley. This is going to be most akin to those more casual buffets that you'll find on board other ships. But essentially it acts as kind of like a marketplace, essentially. I don't know quite the best way to describe it. It's essentially going to be a bunch of little pop-up restaurants under one roof. You can see here Bento Baby, which they do some great sushi rolls. We've got Diner and Dash, which is located there. They do a great breakfast plate. There's a burger bar right next to it. There's a ramen spot here, a taco spot. The daily mix is going to be where you can get some great salads. You can do paninis, all kinds of great stuff here at the galley. You can either go up to the different little counters or you can do tableside service here as well. So the galley is, I would say, kind of the place that people are going to most often for breakfast and also for lunch options when on board. Now moving into cabins and where you can rest your weary head at the end of a long day of relaxing. We've got a number of different cabin categories depending on your needs and also your budget. I'm not going to spend too much time on the Insider and Sea View cabins, but we do have Insiders and Sea Views that can accommodate up to 4 guests. We also have designated solo Insider and Sea Views as well. So if you like to travel on your own, we've got options for you. But we also do our pricing per cabin, not per sailor. So keep that in mind as well. When you see a price point for a cabin, it is going to be for the cabin in sum total, not per person, which is great. We will just do the taxes and fees by the person. So kind of keep that in mind. But I'm going to spend most of my time talking about those sea terraces. We have 1,408 cabins on board to accommodate just under 2,800 passengers. And so with that, 80% of those 1,400 cabins are going to feature a balcony. And when you have a balcony cabin, you get that incredible red hammock, which is so exciting, so comfortable. It is so nice to just go and sit in it and let the breeze kind of lull you to sleep. And so that's why I love promoting the sea terrace. Also, you have a little bit of extra room. The beds do split apart. We can accommodate up to 4 sailors in a sea terrace. However, I would never personally do 4 in a sea terrace. For me, my max is 2 people in one. But our sea terraces are absolutely beautiful cabins. All of our cabins will feature a roomy rain shower, as well as carafes of water to keep you hydrated. There's nothing worse than trying to seek out water on board a ship to try and stay hydrated. And so I love that small little touch. And you'll often find on board our ships, there's just little tiny touches that you may not remember at the end of your voyage, but overall made your experience on board that much better and more enjoyable. So again, just another kind of photo of what the sea terrace looks like. Absolutely great cabins. They're very well appointed and one of my recommendations for how to set sail with us. And then if you want to live the sweet life and enjoy some more luxurious accommodations, we've got our Rockstar and our Mega Rockstar cabins. So as you can see here, their decor and theme is a little bit different. These Rockstar cabins that you see here, for the most part, are going to be a max occupancy of 2 because the beds do not split apart. So kind of keep that in mind. But our Rockstar cabins and our Mega Rockstar cabins come with some additional amenities, which is great. So you're getting some perks that the standard sailor is not getting, such as access to Richard's Rooftop, which is going to be our Rockstar only area lounge. They will do a happy hour up there every day, and only Rockstar sailors can take advantage of Richard's Rooftop. It's also a great place to go for a little bit of calm and quiet if you want to read, just relax, hang out. And then you'll also get the first round of the curated in-room bar on us, as well as priority access to booking shore excursions and dining reservations. So it definitely pays to live the Rockstar life. And then if you really want to live the life of luxury, we have our Mega Rockstar cabins. So these are going to range anywhere from 570 square feet to over 2,100 square feet with our massive suite. I have toured the massive suite and it is very appropriately named. It is ginormous. These ones are all going to feature a record player, and you can have your selection of records from our onboard collection that you can take advantage of to listen to. And you're also going to get some extra perks as well. So you're going to get everything that the traditional rock stars are going to get, but you're also going to get a daily drink allowance as well as daily access to the thermal suite at the Redemption Spa. So again, those plunge pools, salt rooms, saunas, different things like that. A private transfer to the cruise terminal, incredible customer service agents to support your every need pre-voyage and while you're at sea with us, an unlimited in-room bar and premium Wi-Fi. So there's definitely some benefits to booking a Mega Rockstar suite. But honestly, regardless of how you choose to set sail, there is no bad way to have a Virgin Voyages experience. And so that's just a little photo of Richard's rooftop. We've got some incredible offers for you guys right now. Our current offer is going to be our March offer. It is running through the 27th of March. It is going to be 60% off of the second sailor for voyages going from now into 2025, as well as free drinks per cabin depending on your voyage length. So again, really increasing that overall value and honestly making it as all-inclusive as we can, which is great. So it's a fantastic offer. This is going to go through the 27th of March. And then, because Soukeyna is so amazing, we are giving you guys an additional incentive. If you book by March 13th, within the next week, we're going to get you some onboard credit. So if you book an Insider or a Sea View, you're going to get $50 in onboard credit. And if you book a Sea Terrace balcony cabin or a Rockstar suite, you are going to get an additional $200 in onboard credit. Just so you guys are aware, with the free bar tab offer that we are running, it is for Sea Terrace and Rockstar cabins only, or Insiders and Sea Views do not qualify for it. But then if you book with Soukeyna, she is also going to get you an additional $100 in onboard credit for those of you who book a Sea Terrace or a Rockstar suite. So really increasing your overall purchasing power when you're on board, which is incredible. We have a number of different stores for you to use that in. You can book those bookable experiences, get that blowout, get that tattoo, whatever you want to do, and your onboard credit can go towards that. So that is what I have for you guys tonight. I'm trying to get this presentation down to about 30 minutes, and I think I did it in about 35 today. So I'm very happy about that. But if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to either pop them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask me. I am more than happy to answer them.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
From what I understand, the match program is no longer in effect. Is that so?
That is correct. We sunsetted that program on December 31st of last year.
Okay. And nothing like that will return as far as you know?
As far as I know, no, but you never know. Honestly, that's not at my pay grade. I wish it
Yeah.
was.
So right now and I don't know the levels. I have one booked, but have not cruised yet with Virgin. So is it if you take two cruises, do you begin to get any perks, or is it more than two?
Yeah, so right now that is how it is. Honestly, I am attending a meeting tomorrow about our loyalty program because I know that we are going to be kind of releasing a new structure and some changes to it in the coming weeks. So once I kind of have a better idea for that, I'll definitely let Soukeyna know, and she'll be able to reach out to you with what the details of that is.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, great questions.
Okay, then I'll ask another question.
Go for it.
In the beginning, you mentioned something about, I think it was Resilient Lady that will sail around the Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
When is that?
So that is happening in the next like couple of weeks. So because of the conflicts in the Middle East, we had to completely reconfigure her repositioning journey as she goes up to Europe. So we've had to kind of take her a different route. She was originally going from Australia to Singapore to Dubai and kind of going up that way. And so we've had to kind of change course. We will not be doing that again for her repositioning just because there's not enough ports that we, feel are going to be attractive for our sailors. Because really Cape Town honestly was the biggest one of the ones that we have. So we want to give you guys the best possible options, but we have a number of itineraries going everywhere, honestly. So yeah, and with new ones coming out all the time.
Do you know when November 25 schedule will be out? It looks like it's up through October, but
We're hoping by, I would say, May or June for that to be released.
okay.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for sooner, but definitely by mid-year.
Okay. We're trying to book for Thanksgiving next year. We're early planners.
I love it.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
How does the bar tab work? Is it you pay at a certain amount before you get on the cruise, and then what happens if you go over, and what happens if you are under?
Yeah, great question. So bar tab, with beverages on board that are specialties, so that's going to be like your iced vanilla oat milk latte, for example, your smoothie, your alcoholic beverages, wine, beer, cocktails, those anything that would have an upcharge outside of our essential drinks is essentially going to be paid by the drink. So bar tab is kind of our response to the traditional drink package that you'll find on board other ships, where you and whoever you're sailing with have to have the same drink package if you're in the same cabin. We said, let's get rid of that. Let's kind of do away with that. Let's give our sailors more flexibility. And so bar tab essentially is going to be a pot of onboard credit specifically to be used for specialty beverages. Now, Karen, if you purchased a bar tab and you are traveling with, say, your best friend, and you're like, you know what, Sally, I want to buy this round of drinks for us, and you can do that. And then if you guys meet new friends on board and you want to buy a round for them, you can do that, no questions asked, or you can keep it all for yourself, which is great. If you go over, it will just be charged to the card on file. If you are under, it is a use it or lose it type of system. So keep that in mind. And so right now, for example, we are running that free bar tab promotion for up to $400 in free bar tab for those Sea Terrace and Rockstar cabins. If you are booking and there isn't a free bar tab promotion, or say you get, so right now for a 7-night, it's $200 in on free bar tab. If you think over the course of 7 nights, you're gonna go over that, you can pre-purchase bar tab up to 72 hours prior to your departure date. And we have it in different increments. So we have it in increments of $100, $200, and $300. And for each of those levels, we'll give you a little bit extra to, again, give you greater purchasing power. So if you buy through the $300 amount, we'll give you $350 in onboard spend for bar tab. 200 would be 225, and then 100 would be 110. And so essentially you're paying by the drink. Now keep in mind, we're not price gouging. Our cocktails are going to range anywhere from $10 to $16. Glasses of wine on average, 80% of them are under $15 a glass. Beers started around $6 or $7. And it is going to be inclusive of any tips, taxes, fees, all of that good stuff. So what you see on the menu is truly what you're paying, and we've already factored everything else into that price. So keep that in mind. I always like to kind of give the comparison of, I literally was out to dinner with some of my girlfriends in West Hollywood last week, and I was paying anywhere from $20 to $24 a cocktail, which to me is asinine, and I hate it. So I like being on board knowing that I'm not going to get price gouged.
Right. Okay, that made perfect sense. Thank you.
Great. It's kind of convoluted and kind of complicated,
You
but I
explained it
think
very
it's a
well.
good system.
So to piggyback off Karen's question and your response, for the bar tab, if you're doing a C terrace, you can get up to $400 of bar credit. So with this promotion that's on screen right now, if you're in a C terrace, you will get that in addition to, is it $200 additional for a C terrace if you go through Soukeyna?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What is the not combinable with MNVV? Sorry if I missed that.
No, you're good. That's just a little stipulation I like to have in there because I never know who has sailed with us before. And so when you're on board, you will have an opportunity to purchase our onboard offer, which is called My Next Virgin Voyages. You'll still
Okay.
get to work with Soukeyna, which is great. However, because the onboard offer is incredibly lucrative, it is not combinable with this benefit that we have on board on the screen
Okay.
right now.
All right. I'm familiar with that. So, okay. Thank you.
Great questions, you guys.
So, do you have additional amenities that you guys offer, like excursion that we can share with our guests?
Yes, yeah, I'll send you a link to all of the shore excursions so you can send that out when you do follow up.
Okay, sounds great.
All
I know-
right.
You don't do, I'm sorry,
Okay,
you don't
we-
do any 7 nights out of Miami right now, right? They're all 4 and 5 nights.
Out of Miami, we're doing 4, 5, 6, and 8.
Okay, I need to look again. I haven't seen the 6 or 8.
We have more into 25 that are 7 nights, but through 24, they're gonna be 4, 5, 6, and 8 nighters.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, they're a little longer there too, right?
Yeah, so Puerto Rico will start at 7 nights, and we'll go, I think, up to 11 or 12.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and we just released the new Puerto Rico dates, so starting in December of this year through April of 2025.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, thank you all so much for attending this evening. We appreciate it. And then I am going to send the recording of tonight's session to Soukeyna so that she can send it to you guys if you need it. But thank you all so much for joining. I hope you guys have a great evening, and we look forward to having you on board soon.
Yes, thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day, you all.